Hello and welcome into this week's edition of
Yeti!
It's Lizzo's shapewear line. Oh, no.
No.
It's Yes, I'm Talking to You, a podcast that is fairly new, but I don't think Lizzo knew that she was stealing our name. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yes, we have a lot to talk about with that.
Yeah, because, you know...
The hell?
Stop taking our stuff. But we like to start every week with you, me, and we. Of course, I'm here with the incomparable Nina Blanco.
Hi.
I am Dubs. You can find me on social media at Dubs the Third. And so what we like to do is give people a talking to, and we're going to start with Nina Blanco. What did you want to... Who'd you want to talk to? What's going on?
Well, I kind of have two things. So the first thing is my microphone. I want to talk about it. Okay. I want to talk because it's very noticeable. Okay, so if you've listened to previous episodes of Yeti, we've been having some issues with Dubs' mic.
Yeah.
And I want you to know that we know that there's an issue with Dubs' mic because we talk about it every week. We've tried troubleshooting, and it seems like we finally fixed it.
Yeah, a little radio insider part of it is, you know, the tech side of it.
Yeah.
And you purchased this great equipment.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I don't know if the mic that we were using before, like my voice is just too much for. It's very bassy.
I don't know. You have a very bassy voice. Like our voices are so different.
Yeah.
You and I.
And so Nina's still using that same mic. Like they're two identical mics, and we used to use both of them. Now we're trying what is essentially a singing mic.
Yeah.
But I think it sounds okay. So we'll see how it turns out. I mean, we've thought it was okay before, and then we go back and listen to the podcast.
And then we're like, oh gosh, you sound like you're in the background, like trying to yell into my microphone.
It sounds like me getting picked up on your mic.
That's what it sounded like.
It sounds like. So.
I know. So we're so aware of that, and I think we figured out the problem, and I think we fixed it.
I hope this is the solution and we just don't have to worry about it anymore.
I hope so. But the other thing that I needed to talk about is if this morning on Monday, April the 4th, you were able to get your hands on some Dave Chapelle Comedy Works tickets, I hate you. I didn't even know this was going on. I didn't even know this was happening. This was actually a like last minute announcement. It was a total surprise thing because it's Dave Chappelle and we knew he was going to sell out. They weren't going to have...
Especially at Comedy Works, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he sold out Red Rocks with Jon Stewart. So.
Exactly. And so it's really cool that they did just do this all of a sudden announcement this morning. You know, if you're a part of like the Comedy Works like guest list, like you get the emails, the promotional emails and stuff from them. Yeah. That's pretty much how you found out about this show. Yeah. So like you were an insider. And so there are 6 shows for Dave Chapelle. And he's going to be performing in Denver at Comedy Works downtown at Larimer Square. And it's going to be amazing. And all 6 shows sold out nearly immediately. Yeah. So if you were able to get your hands on that show and someone drops out last minute, you can't find someone to go with you, just like let me know.
Stop it.
I'll just let me know.
Stop it. Are you really begging on your podcast for people to take you to Dave Chappelle?
Yes, 100%. I am.
You can tell somebody has been employed for a little bit. She ain't spending the money on that secondary market ticket. Go ahead, do your hair a little bit. Make sure you're all pretty, ready for this. Take me to Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? A lot of comedians talk about Comedy Works very glowingly. Yeah. And I think it's something that we really take for granted here in the city of Denver, that we have like one of the best comedy clubs in the country.
We do.
And like, I don't say that lightly. You know, comedians talk about it and they talk about like the Laugh Factory and the Comedy Cellar. Right. And like the 4th or 5th on that list is Comedy Works in Denver. And it's kind of amazing, you know, the talent that we have come through. Yeah. You know, most people don't have that within a couple hours. We've got it, you know, right here in downtown.
Right here. Actually, so speaking of Comedy Works, the boy, whenever we go out, I've kind of turned the boy on to doing this, is he'll drop his like business card in all the little fish bowls. Yeah. So he never did that before. And now he does it as often as he can.
Because he has business cards?
Yeah, exactly. That he doesn't use for literally anything else. But we actually just won a Comedy Works little package.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we get to invite like 10 friends to a show. But the thing is like, it's not free.
Yeah.
It's just discounted tickets. Mm-hmm. But okay, I'll take a cool Comedy Works ticket for like $10 or something.
Well, and if it's a thing that they're putting together, do they have like a table they're going to put you all at the same table?
They're not tables there at Comedy Works.
Well, they have I think they did start doing tables after COVID to like keep people apart, right? Like this is your
Okay. I haven't been in a minute. Yeah.
I haven't been in a while either.
I think I went like I want to say like 7 or 8 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was still during COVID and everything, and there weren't tables.
Just like chairs?
Yeah, it was chairs, and then they have like a little mini table between each chair, and that was your table. Maybe so then they were able to like pack in a lot of people because they're saving space on tables.
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's just like discounted tickets for like 10 of my friends for like whatever dates. So
it'll be a fun night.
We'll go through that, and then you should come with us to a Comedy Works show.
Oh, is this an invitation to me now?
I think so.
Oh, well, don't feel like you have to invite me just because you're talking about it on the podcast.
We can invite no, we can invite 10 people, and like I don't have friends, so
Nina. Am I in your MySpace top 10? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
First of all, it's top 8, but sure.
Well, I mean, this is 10 tickets, so I changed it to
my Comedy Works top 10.
Yeah, well, I guess if it's you and the boy, it is 8, right?
Oh, true.
So who's in your top 8? Nina Blanco.
Okay.
You know what the problem is?
What?
If a friend of yours, listens to this podcast.
And they're like,
does or does not get an invite.
You didn't pick me, you bitch.
Yeah, they're gonna know. This is exactly the same as putting it on your MySpace. Like everybody's gonna know when you do it. That's
true. So do I have to give you 8 people right now?
I mean, it doesn't. I
can come up with 8 people, so we'll throw you and Dave in there, right? Because you're my besties, and then I'm gonna throw in my friend Marie and her boyfriend Andrew. He's also a friend. And then,
I don't know. That didn't sound.
No,
like
he's also a friend. Just because, like I said, he's her boyfriend.
Yeah,
so,
right.
But that's not why he gets the invite. Like
that sounds like when the breakup happens.
No. I mean, I would, but.
Oh, this poor guy.
Sorry, Andrew. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about Andrew. So for my wedding, actually, Marie, she has some work stuff, and I'm not even sure that she's able to go to my wedding. Yeah. But I fully expect Andrew to be there.
Okay.
I haven't talked to them about this. So
now you're excluding him as your friend, but telling him that he better be.
He is a friend.
I'm kidding.
What was that? So that's 4. Yeah. My friend Dan and oh god, and then that's it. That's all the people I hang out with. So I can't even make it to 8. I don't know.
I can think of people in my head that I know that are like friends with you, quote unquote,
friends
who are going to hear that and be like, oh, okay.
Is Chelsea one of them? We can have
Chelsea was the first one that came to mind.
Chelsea, Brittany, we hang out sometimes, and then
Chelsea's a very busy person, so like I feel like you guys don't like hang out.
I feel like I'm in her second tier of friends though, so I'm not gonna lie.
She's got a lot of friends from back home that are like super tight.
No, even her Colorado friends. I don't get invited to things.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
You're Chelsea. Podcast, all right. I mean, listen, our microphones aren't as powerful as they used to be, but it's still a microphone, Nina. You know that, right?
That's fine.
All right. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Interesting. Look at what we found here.
I know. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we'll go to a show soon. So they give you like a list of shows that you can get your like $10 group tickets to.
Nice.
So yeah, we'll have to go to a show one of these days.
So the question is, do you want to go to an early show and then get super hammered afterwards, or do you want to get a little drunk and go to the late show? You know what I mean?
The late show starts at like what, 10:30?
Yeah, it's like 10:30 or 11.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. I don't know. I've never been to one of the late shows, so do they get rowdier?
I don't know if I'd call it rowdier, but it's definitely like people are, they're drunk, so they're more willing to like laugh and stuff like that. So I feel like they're funnier.
Yeah.
Because once the comic gets that energy
True.
of like the crowd, you know, feeding back and laughing at him, and not everybody's sitting there like, oh, I don't know, guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it creates an atmosphere, and most comics just kind of take off with that.
Okay.
So
that might be fun. There's a couple late shows on that list I remember seeing. So maybe we can do that. That'd be fun.
I'm so thrown by your top 8.
Why? I don't hang out with like anyone.
It's hard to make friends as an adult.
I hang out with you, and like we rarely see Dave these days, which is my own fault.
You know, I was thinking about that. We did all go out to a lunch last week, and we ran into, oh my God, I forgot his name.
It's on Instagram.
He was super nice and was very complimentary of us, and that means so much to us when you guys do that. Like when you come up to us and you're like, hey, we really miss you on the radio.
Oh my gosh, it like makes my heart just burst.
Yeah, because we're just in a room talking to each other right now. You know what I mean? Like you don't really think anybody's listening.
JJ Max.
Yeah, but was his name
Instagram.
Juan?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Well, it was like Juan. Maybe it was Julio. I don't remember. Maybe it was Juan Julio. JJ.
Juan. Oh, it says on his profile. Juan.
It was Juan. Okay.
Yeah.
Juan, thank you very much for coming up and it just means so much to us. Because like we said, we just feel like we're in a room talking to ourselves.
Right.
And then all of a sudden somebody's like, hey, are you Dubs? And it's like, whoa, yeah.
Yes, you remember me?
I just delivered you a burrito from Taco Bell.
Right? Oh my gosh. That's funny.
All right. For me, I want to talk about Rocky's opening day.
Yeah.
And Nina's like, don't we have to be negative on this podcast? And I'm like, no, we could be positive.
I thought that was like our thing, is like, that's why we entered the good news in the middle of the podcast, because we're all negative all around.
That is true. It's just, I feel like, because it's mostly negative, but it can be good news.
Okay.
It's just when it's, yes, I'm talking to you is
Yeah.
what our podcast stands for.
Yes.
And I feel like the city of Denver needs a pep talk.
Oh.
You have a moment here, Denver. We haven't had a real Rockies opening day in 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the first thing, maybe the second thing. It was like St. Patrick's Day and then Rockies opening day.
That got canceled in 2020.
That were the first things that just got torched and burned to the ground.
Yup.
And they tried to do it last year, and then fans weren't allowed in the stadium. And then they tried to do it a second time when fans were allowed in the stadium.
I went to that.
But it was just a different feeling. Like, it was not a...
Like, you got a t-shirt, but it wasn't like opening day.
It was not a Rockies opening day.
You got a t-shirt and that was it.
Because part of what comes with that is that we've been cooped up and the weather's just starting to turn nice. And then all of a sudden, here's opening day, and it's our first, like... wear your shorts and let's get wild kind of day.
Yeah.
And so Denver, I'm giving you a pep talk. It's time. Like, we need to have an epic opening day. And this just isn't for the people who are drunk and end up peeing on the sidewalk. No, I'm not talking to you because I know you're going to handle your business.
That's me.
Nina, don't tell people.
I mean, that's not me.
Yeah. I can't even with her.
I'm sorry. I just ruined your pep talk.
Go downtown.
Keep going.
But this is to like all the, 45-year-old dads who are giving their kids to the grandma for the day, and to the 60-year-old grandmother that goes every week but doesn't necessarily go down to the bars beforehand and have a beer and a burger before she goes into the stadium.
Yep.
These are the people that I'm talking to. The people who don't get Nina wild every time they go downtown.
All right. Okay.
I want you, this is a day, my friends that are like bartenders and servers down there, I want you to do this for them.
Aww.
Because they have been for over 2 years now getting by.
Just riding that struggle bus.
By. And even when things got good again, like last summer when we thought we were kind of in the clear, yes, there were a lot of people out. It's not the same as opening day. Opening day, they make their entire month's rent in 8 hours. Yeah. You know what I mean? So go do it for them. Just give those bars and those bartenders and those restaurants and those servers, give them 2019. Give them the day. You know what I mean? That they haven't been able to have for 2 years. And I know you want it too, right?
Yeah.
We all want that.
Dude, okay, so I talked about this in my other podcast, in the Nina Blanco podcast, because I had a conversation with some people about this year feels different. Because last year we were still getting used to things. Sure, things opened up like you said, and like people were like getting vaccinated kind of, and you know, we were still gearing up, and people were like, oh, freedom, this is it, 2021, this is the year. But it was still weird because it was our first time back. It was that transition period. 2022, I think we've transitioned. We know the rules. A lot more of us are vaccinated. A lot more of us are comfortable with being around people again, because that was another thing too, is the hesitation. That was for me, absolutely. Yeah. And so 2022, I feel it, man. This summer's gonna be wild.
Well, and I think to your point, part of one of the big things is we realized there was a big hope in 2020 and a hope even still in 2021 that there was going to be a definitive end to this.
Yeah.
And I think now we've all kind of realized that, like, when flu season rolls around, at the holidays, when you're seeing a whole bunch of people, when a lot of people are traveling, like, it's going to be.
That's what it's going to be.
It's coming back.
Right.
It's going to spike. You're going to have to watch yourself. You know, like, we just kind of know.
Yeah.
But what that also means that we know is
summer.
It's summertime.
Summertime is like, fucking on.
Let's go. You know what I mean? And I think that's a healthy attitude to have, because if you make that concession in your head, one, you're going to have more fun now, which great. Like, let it out.
Let it out. Exactly. It's your time.
And two, when it does come back, it's not going to be as depressing. Because I think when it came back and like it spiked over the holidays and it was like, wear your mask, limit the number of people, you're not allowed to go into restaurants, you know what I mean? Like, I think that really hit some people hard.
Yeah.
That it had come back like that. So
right.
I think it's really important to really enjoy the time where we feel like we're safer, which I know this may not be the best time to make that example, with numbers spiking a little bit, but
just a little bit.
But summertime is still the better time when it comes to this kind of flu and cold season. So
exactly.
So yeah, I'm hoping people kind of get after it. Go get after it. Have an opening day, Denver.
Know when I know it was all going to change? Do you want to know? So
like stay changed forever kind of thing?
No, like how I'm talking about how in 2022, like this year's just going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So it was like 2 weeks ago, the boy and I, we went to Walmart, and for the first time in 2 years, we didn't wear a mask inside of Walmart. That we felt comfortable enough to go into Walmart and not wear a mask. I was like, ooh.
The first time you do it, it's a weird feeling.
It is. And it's like the air of change. Yeah. But like it was exciting at the same time.
Yeah. You hate that it's exciting. Yeah. Because it's like.
It's a little depressing that it's exciting, but it's still exciting. So that's the part I'm going to focus on.
Yeah, man. I think we all kind of know that this is going to be maybe not for the rest of our life, but this is going to be a long-term thing.
Long time.
And it's going to turn into get your COVID and flu shot every flu season. You know what I mean? And
exactly.
You're just going to have to kind of deal with it. All right. Now, after that, let's get to the we.
Okay.
Because, we got to move on from COVID. We can't spend too much.
Yeah, I don't want to anymore.
What do we got for the we?
Okay, for the we got cannabis-themed license plates that are up for auction here in Colorado.
Cannabis-themed?
They do this like every year, I think, right?
Well, so they have a bunch of different license plates that you can purchase.
Yeah.
And they all go to like a different charity? I don't know if this one does.
So I think it's just each year they pick a charity. So it just goes to one charity.
Oh, no, that's not true, because here's how I know that. Oh. So you can get like a Rockies license plate or like a Broncos license plate, and those go to their specific charities.
But these ones that are up for auction, I thought the cannabis one.
Oh, they've done this before. Do every year. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Now I
that's
understand
what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah. So they do this every year. They have cannabis themed license plates that are up for auction. And I believe you can only use them for the year. And then sometimes they'll use it again for next year's auction, stuff like that. So they are auctioned up, and it's.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah. And you have to like go online
and you place a bid, and then the highest bid gets the license plate. And so the funding for this year, the auction, it's going to actually benefit the Colorado Disability Funding Committee to support new and innovative programs for the state's disability community, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So bidding is open online. It remains open until 4/20 on 4/20. 4:20 p.m. on April 20th.
Good job.
Yes. And I want to talk about these phrases that are up for auction.
Okay.
Okay, the first one is CBD.
Okay.
I like it. All right. Sure. The other one is Got Hemp, which is a little corny.
Yeah.
The next one is 420. That's a solid one.
Sure, that's a good one. Yeah.
I don't know. Am I lame for not knowing this? Like, why is 710?
I don't know 710 either.
It's 710.
I don't know.
I don't know what that is either.
Stoners, help us.
I know. I don't know that one.
Tweet at us or whatever. Comment on the Instagram post. Tell us what 710 means.
The next one is...
You're the stoner.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know that, though. I have no idea what that is.
Bad stoner.
The next one is blunt. Yeah. Like, just imagine your license plate being blunt.
I mean, listen, all of these make me, like, a little bit scared because, like... Hello Target on your back.
Exactly. Like you can never drive out of state. You're gonna get pulled over at every second.
Out of state for sure. Out of state you get pulled over just for having a
Colorado plate. Okay, the next one is bong water.
Ew.
Yeah.
Isn't bong water gross? Like
it's spelled BONGWTR. Bong water. Ew. Ooh. That's nasty.
Why would you want that?
The next one is a misspelled cannabis so that it can fit with all the letters.
Okay, yeah.
The next one is CO2. Then there's dabbing. Yeah. Like you're for sure getting pulled over with dabbing. Like are you kidding me? Then edible. Then got oil along with their got hemp. Then we got hash. Oh, I like this one. Mary Jane. MRYGANE. Mary Jane. I don't know.
So Nina, if we were to force you to get one,
what
would you pick?
Maybe further on the list, there's toker.
Okay. All right.
There's toker, and there's also just weed. I think I'd do that one. Weed. 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 But some of these are funny. Like bong water. That's gonna get like 0 bids. Who's gonna bid on bong water for your license plate?
Somebody who thinks it's fun, like somebody who's like, oh, bong water.
No. You put it on a brown car. Bong water.
Okay, yeah. Or like it's the fraternity's car.
Yeah, exactly.
The license plate bong water.
Exactly. But these phrases and more are up for auction. And like I said, it does benefit something really, really cool. It's the Colorado Disability Funding Committee. And so bidding is open till 4/20 on 4/20.
I'm all for doing this for charity.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that it is being embraced by our government here.
Me too.
Like it's a defining feature for Colorado, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like there's nothing wrong with it. And I think the way that you make grandma feel like there's nothing wrong with it is
put it on
you
a
sell
government
license plates that say bong water.
Government issues license.
You know what I mean? Like that's like Granny, it's all right.
Get over it, Grandma.
Okay. Like, it's just it grows in the ground, you light it on fire, it's fine. Like don't worry about it. And I think the state kind of embracing it the way that it has really helps with some people, like to convince their parents or their grandparents that like it's fine.
And to open it up for more research for medicinal purposes for people that really do need it. And yeah, I think it's a good thing.
I think it's really cool. My mom actually, so she can't take like regular pain medication. So she has switched to all like CBD stuff.
Oh, nice.
And even her, she lives in New York most of the time, and she's like, man, they just got nothing on the stores out here in Colorado. You go in, it's like a Walmart. There's things everywhere. You know?
Right.
You know, like I don't even know where to start looking.
For real, there are whole boutiques and shops dedicated to just CBD items.
Yeah. So every time she comes here, she goes on a little shopping spree.
Ooh, I see you. And her name is Mary Jane.
And her name is Mary Jane. Yeah.
She was made for it.
And but like you'd think she'd be like that's the first person that gets offered weed at the party in high school, right?
Oh, your name is Mary Jane.
Oh, take a hit of it. And she always said like weed wasn't for her. She didn't like the way it made her feel. And you know, with all the different strains and stuff now, you can probably find something that would make her feel okay. But she probably just got handed some random strain and made her feel weird one time. And she's like,
no, thank you.
It's not for me. But it was always weird because, like, your name is Mary Jane. Like, you kind of have to be a stoner, don't you?
Aw, leave her alone.
Come on, Mom. All right, moving on to the good news. Like Nina said, we do like to bring one piece of good news that is always good every week. The reason that we like to do it is because sometimes we yell at people.
Yeah.
Like I just yelled at my mom. And so... So today I found this and I thought this was kind of cool, and I didn't know if maybe the boy had talked to you about it a little bit. The largest passenger jet in the world just flew a 3-hour flight.
Wow.
On cooking oil.
Really?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. So Airbus, one of the biggest makers of airplanes.
Yeah.
It's like them and Boeing are like the two big ones.
Yeah.
And most companies buy from one of those two. They have started it, now. They make it clear in the article that this is not an introductory thing. Like, this is not the first time that they've done this. This is the first time that it's the first time that they've flown on it. Like, they've been working on this technology for a while. Really long time. So back to 2006 is when they have written in the article here.
Okay.
But an A380, which is like the biggest plane that they make, did a 3-hour flight powered by only cooking oil.
That is crazy. That's amazing.
And it's hard sometimes because when we find these solutions that quote unquote solutions to fossil fuels and that kind of stuff, you end up finding out that it's worse for the environment than just getting the fossil fuel. You know what I mean? So I don't know this cooking oil thing is going to pan out to be like better for the environment than oiling whatever, but it's kind of cool that they were like, hey, we can fly a plane on waste material, because that's what cooking oil is.
Exactly.
Like, they take the used cooking oil from places and then burn it as fuel.
Right. But like, just the fact that it is another option with like everything, how expensive it is right now with like gas and filling up your car because of gas prices going up. I mean, it goes the same for airlines, you know, to fuel fuel for their airplanes and stuff. And then their ticket prices go up, which a lot of people have been complaining about, like how expensive airline tickets and stuff are right now. And
especially when they're canceling so many flights.
Exactly. And like rescheduling you and just all sorts of stuff. It's just, it's a headache, and it's an expensive headache that people just kind of have to deal with right now. But having an alternative, that's great, because cooking oil is, you would think anyway, probably much cheaper than the fuel that they're using now.
Well, and it's repurposed, right? Like it's already been used one time, so then to be able to use it a second time is kind of cool. And I'm all for, like, you know, this thing maybe seems a little bit far out before passengers are flying on cooking oil all the time. Yeah. But so did solar energy in 2000.
Now they're paying you for it.
Right. You know, now you can get such efficient solar energy that you give energy back to the grid. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
which is cool. So it's progress.
And this is how you make progress, by taking steps like this. So I thought it was a really cool thing.
That's dope.
We're going to have the boy on to tell us all the specifics.
Oh, he has no idea about any of that stuff.
How flying on cooking oil works.
He just works for an airline, sir.
I look forward to having his expert opinion on
you need to calm it down. He's like, nah.
An engine powered by cooking oil works.
A presentation by the boy.
Put a little PowerPoint on our YouTube page.
Oh my gosh.
Showing everything.
Don't expect that. Don't expect that. No.
He's going to be so mad that I even said it.
I know, exactly.
All right. And then we like to wrap up our show every week with the whack ass of the week. And you guessed who it is. I mean, we don't even really have to announce it, but go ahead, Nina Blanco.
Lizzo.
What the hell are you doing, Lizzo?
Lizzo!
What are you doing?
Lizzo!
Can you stop, please?
What are you doing?
Stealing the name of our podcast. You don't even know what Yeti means.
Right? So if you haven't heard...
Stupid.
Last Monday, Tuesday, it was after we recorded last week's Yeti, Lizzo had announced that she's releasing a shapewear line, which is cool. Bras, panties, you know, shapewear, all sorts of stuff that you can even wear casually. Yeah. But she named it Yeti.
Why?
The exact same spelling.
It's not even a word in English.
It's not even a word. It's not even a real word. I don't know how she came up with it.
Your friend Marie did comment on like your post about it, and I was like, it's not even a word in the English language. Like, if we had picked like, I don't know, socks to be the name of our podcast. Right. Sure, somebody else might for some reason.
That's fine.
Yeti is not a real word. It's not in the dictionary. What are you doing, Lizzo? Get off our shit.
Okay, what's making it worse is The fact that like she hasn't given an explanation as to why she's calling it Yeti.
Yeah, like
we have an explanation. The reason why we call our podcast Yeti is because we're like yelling about stuff, and it stands for yes, I'm talking to you.
It's right there, right on the little
Yeti,
right on the little image that
right
we have.
on the logo.
It says, yes, I'm talking to you.
Right there. Yes, I'm talking to you, Yeti. But for Lizzo, she has not come out with any explanation as to why she's calling it Yeti. And it has this major platform, and they took up the social media handles, which we didn't do. We didn't even think to do it.
No, and like what if we had?
What if we had?
Because it was like, what, 2 months ago that we started? 2.5?
Yeah, probably.
So like, had they grabbed all those?
I wonder because we didn't even look. We didn't even look up Yeti. So I wonder if it was probably taken already. Because supposedly, though, she's been trying to create this shapewear line for the last 5 years. But that's like the initial idea of I want a shapewear. She didn't have the name.
5 years.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So I don't know. She got like a tattoo. Was that a fake tattoo? I don't know.
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
It was hard to tell, but she had a tattoo on her ass of Yeti.
The funniest part about this is it's fine. We don't actually. Really
no, I
care.
don't. Like, good for you, Lizzo.
And I don't
think
we're gonna change anything, are we?
No.
Yeah, like
no.
I mean, we're such a small little fish in that pond. Like, it's not a big deal.
It's whatever.
If you want to be Yeti as well, we just want you to know that like we had it first. Is what's important.
That's all. I just want to say that.
But
the official Yeti Instagram for Lizzo's shapewear has like responded to some of my stuff.
Oh, really?
That they liked a post and stuff, but I don't even know if they even read what it was.
Well, they probably did, and they probably are like, we're not going to do anything about this, but it's funny. Like
just so you know, we see.
Hey, man. Hey, if they start giving us likes on tweets and stuff like that,
that's true.
Fine. Totally fine.
It was on Instagram, yeah.
Here's the funniest part about this. I sleep later than Nina Blanco every day, which is kind of strange.
Why?
Well, I don't know. I feel like the stoner person would sleep later, but I don't know. You get up before me every day.
I do.
I even like force myself to get up because I end up.
You have to set an alarm clock to get here at 1 p.m.
I know. It's tough. I have to tell people when I'm meeting them for lunch, like, what time do you want to meet for lunch? And they're like, oh, I don't know. I'll just text you whenever. I'm like, no.
Like, no.
I got to set an alarm so I'm awake to go to lunch with you. So the funniest thing about this is I wake up to text from Nina Blanco that's like, get your ass out of bed.
Yeah, because I knew you were sleeping. And this was going on like all morning long. And I was like, okay, enough is enough. It was like 10, 11. And I was like, Dubs, you need to wake up. So I texted you. I'm like, check your Instagram now.
And I'm like, dude, like, what is happening? Is Bonzo sick? Do I need to go to an animal hospital? Where is Dave J on the mic? Is he alive? Is there something?
It was Yeti.
And Nina's like, get your ass out of bed. And I opened my Instagram to a giant picture of Lizzo's ass. Like, good morning.
Oh man. But it was just like so shocking.
It was.
Because again, this is a made up word. Yeti is not a thing.
You have to think. Here's what I want to think.
What?
That she saw a tweet from you about the podcast.
And she was like, ooh.
No, just ignored it, because I think Lizzo's a good person. I don't think she would straight steal it.
No.
So she just, like, in passing on her thread, saw a tweet from you about the podcast. And then, like, 2 weeks later, they're like, what should we name our shapewear line? And she's like, Yeti. And she thought it was her own idea, but she had just seen that tweet from you, and that is how she ended up stealing our name.
Okay.
Theft.
Wow.
Stealing our name.
Wow.
It is theft.
The reality is they probably had the name Yeti for at least a year.
No.
Yes, they have.
Yes, they have.
Yes, they have. This is a 5-year process. They've had the name for at least a year to do all the printing on all of the design and the labels and stuff. They had to have that for more than the last 2 months of our podcast being born.
Maybe more than the last 2 months. There's no way they've had it for a year.
I think so.
So what you're telling me is you work for Lizzo's shapewear line.
I wish.
And
they want to pay me. Send me a gift
how
box.
About that? Yeah, let Nina be an influencer.
Oh my God, send me a gift box because you know how they send it to people so that you can wear it.
Yeah.
And you can. Oh my God.
So Nina, do you remember when we used to do the show on 95.7 The Party?
Yeah.
And we had a conversation about you, thinking about you a lot, like when you gave gifts and stuff like that.
You think I'm selfish and I give people gifts to only benefit me? Yeah, I remember that.
I'm just saying, no, that's not quite
rude.
I was gonna say you put it a little bit meaner than we did, but okay, fine.
No, that's what you guys were telling me every time.
I mean, you did give a picture of you and tickets to come see you as Christmas gifts one year.
Oh my God.
So far,
I gave my mom airline tickets to come and visit me in Denver. I paid for my mom's flight.
So far during this podcast, you've asked for free comedy show tickets. Free shapewear from Lizzo for a brand new brand that hasn't even dropped yet.
It has dropped, first of all.
Oh, okay. Well, so I guess I was wrong there. My assertion is totally incorrect.
I hate you.
I mean, tell me I'm wrong.
Why do we do this podcast together?
Tell me I'm wrong. This podcast is normally 30 minutes. I feel like this week's going to be a little bit longer.
It's a little longer.
Podcast is normally 30 minutes, and you have asked for tickets to Dave Chapelle for free.
I mean, I'll pay my half.
Oh, will you?
I will. But if someone wants to give them to me for free, I'm not going to say no. I'm on it. Yeti is canceled. I'm shutting this shit down.
Hot girl privilege from Nina Blanco will wrap up our show.
I despise you.
I'm sorry.
I loathe you.
I love you, but it was too funny of a joke.
I loathe you.
It's too funny of a joke not to make.
That's what I'm going to say from now on. When you tell me like, oh, I love you, be like, I loathe you.
Do you really know what loathe means? I don't think you do.
I don't know. Something negative.
Very good, Nina. Nice job.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess we'll end the podcast like that. You can find her on social media at the Nina Blanco if you want to give her tickets to see Dave Chapelle.
Yeah.
Or free Lizzo shapewear. She's on all the social medias at the Nina Blanco.
And follow Dubs because we feel bad for him. At Dubs the Third. I don't know what else to say. I don't know. I've had it with you.
Somebody who's paid to think about stuff and then say it into a microphone. That was very eloquent. Okay, we love you guys. Bye.
I'm about to punch the shit out of you.
Yeti!
Yeti!